In this video, we'll be looking for different shortcuts related to control keys. In the next video series, you'll be seeing all the shortcuts related to control, alt, and then I have shift control and some alone keys. Let's see first with the control key. Now I have the simple and very basic control A to control Z. I usually call it as A to Z of ABCD of Excel, the shortcuts. So I have written for your purpose that the control I have written here, select all, bold. These are the shortcut keys which I have written here, and the keys is control A you can see here, control C, E you can see here. So this way you can refer the shortcuts, but I'll show you the practical how to work on this 23 shortcuts from control A to control Z. You might be saying 23, there are 26 alphabets, but 3 shortcuts are not available here. That's the control. If you see, there's a control M, control Q, all the shortcuts are not available. So 23 shortcuts from control A to control Z. So let's see one by one for this. Now let's start with the control A shortcut. If I keep my cursor outside somewhere and if I press control A, the entire sheet gets selected. But what I can do is I can just select, if I keep my cursor at this place where there is a data surrounding, and if I press control A, you see the data gets selected around that. Similarly, if I keep my cursor at this place like this, and if I press control A, so this data would be selected. So control A is for select the entire sheet sometimes, and control A is for selecting the data. Now depends when you keep your cursor wherever accordingly. Next I have control B. What exactly control B is for? Bold. So I'll select control A. Right now we have seen, and if I press control B, B stands for bold. So you see this bold has been highlighted here. If I again press control B, it will come to the normal bold. Next I have control C. Control C is for copy. Now how do I find out whether it is copied or not? If you first observe, there are dancing ants surrounding the data, but second option how you can watch is, you can go to this home tab and click on this clipboard. You see the data is selected here and the data is copied here. So this is Monday month, that is the month number Jan. So month number Jan, all these have been copied in the clipboard. So I'll close that clipboard. That is for control C. Next I have control D is for flash fill. Now what exactly flash fill is? Sorry, control D is for fill down. Now if I want to get Jan in the entire data, if I drag down, I'll not get Jan, but I'll get list. If you remember, we have seen the custom list topic. Custom list will give me the list of all the data into that series. So Jan, Feb, March, April, May, everything is shown. But what I want is, I want only Jan. So I'll just press Ctrl Z, that is for undo. I'll select this entire column like this, the first cell selected and the entire blank, and I'll press Ctrl D. D stands for fill down. So Ctrl D, and you see the data is filled down, right? Ctrl D is for fill down. Next I have Ctrl E. What exactly Ctrl E stands for is, I'll show you here. In this place, if you see, I have all the days Monday to Sunday. Now I want to use a shortcut where I can get first to 3 alphabets of a text. Let's say MON, TUE, WED. Those are like the first 3 alphabets of this word. How do I get it? So I'll just type for first time, that is MON, a Monday, short form of Monday. And what I'll do is I'll press shortcut key from my keyboard, Control E. So once I press Control E, you see all the 3 alphabets from the starting, for that word is given here. Now if you don't want the starting 3 alphabets, you want the last 3 alphabets, again what you can do is, I'll just delete it and I'll type here DAY, last 3 alphabets, and I'll press Control E. So you see last 3 alphabets. Now you might be watching, there are not 3 alphabets, there are 5 alphabets. Because I have to train him one more time, what I can do is I can just delete this again. Yeah. And I'll type as DAY and DAY. So it understood. Twice if I tell him DAY, not this SDAY. And I'll press Control E, and you see everything, last 3 alphabets are given. Though they are same, okay, so you cannot find the difference, but it works 100%. Last 3 alphabets. So Control E stands for flash fill, right? This is only available in the newer version of Excel, not in the previous version 2010, 7 and 3, they are not available. So Control E is for flash fill. Next I have Control E, Control F, F for find. When I press Control F, F for find, and now that is for finding. Now I've already typed here Monday, you can type Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever you want, and click on find next. So once you click on find next, your cursor will come and stop to that place where the text contains Monday. Again, if you click on find next, you might see this find next, there's no other find all. Yeah. So once you click on find all, you'll get all the data wherever, what sheet name or what file name, what sheet name, and the what cell number you have that text. So I do not want right now. So Control F is for find. Control G is for go to. Suppose you want to go to some cell number in your sheet, let's say cell number I5. So I'll just press Control G from my keyboard and press I5 from in this place in the reference field, and I'll click on OK. My cursor right now is in the cell number H12, but when I click on OK, my cursor will be in the cell number I5. You see my cursor in the cell number I5. That's a name box. Similarly, if I want to go to some other cell number, again I'll press Ctrl G from my keyboard, and if I want to go to some cell number, let's say I want to go to I9, and if I click on OK, my cursor should come in the place I9. So F for find and G for go to, and next I have Control H for replace. Now if I want to replace, let's say some word, let's say Sunday, I want to replace it with some day. Let's say Sunday is usually happy day for all the people. So I want to replace Sunday with happy day. So I'll press Control H from my keyboard. Control H will give me a similar dialog box for find and replace. Find was Control F, replace is Control H. Now I want to replace this text which is given as Sunday, and I want to replace with the text as happy day. And now what I'll do is I'll click on find next. So once I get my find next, my cursor goes to that place, and then I can click on replace. So once I click on replace, you see what happens. Sunday will be replaced with happy day. So now it's working. So happy day is working here. So find and replace will come in the same dialog box. So H for replace. Next I have I. So Control I stands for italic. So first I'll select the entire data, and if I press Control I from my keyboard, Control I is for italic, right? So this is italic form. If you do not want the italic form, press go back, Control I, it goes away. So italic is given here. Next I have J, Control J. There's nothing for Control J, but we have something for Control K, and that's very interesting. You can put a hyperlink to any word or text using just one click, just using a shortcut Control K. If I click on this happy day, and I want to jump to suppose as Facebook, I'll press Control K, and I can put a hyperlink on that text. So Control K, selected the cell, press Control K, I'll get a dialog box that is insert hyperlink, and just type the website name where you want to link. I'll type here Facebook, www.facebook.com, and I'll click on OK. So you see that has been hyperlinked. Now when you click on that text, or you can say that hyperlink, it will open facebook.com on your default browser. For me, the default browser is IE, Internet Explorer, and you see the Facebook is open. So I'll not open right now. I'll go for the training back. So Control K is for hyperlink. Next I have Control L, K after that L. I have some data given here. If I want to form it as a table, how do I get it? I'll press Control L from my keyboard, Control L, and you see I'll get a dialog box, create table. By default, they have selected the dancing ants because my cursor was inside the data, and my table as headers. So I'll just click on OK, and you see this is a table created. How do I find out whether it is a table or not? If you see, I have the table tools as the design tab. If I keep my cursor outside, the table tool goes away. I'll come back to this place. That's a table. If you want to remove a table, I'll just go to design. I can say as convert to range and click on yes. So this becomes a normal range, not a table. Next I have after Control L. See, don't forget I have written here the shortcut. So for your reference, we are on the shortcut, let's say Control L, that is the insert table. Control M, as it is given as blank, there is no shortcut for Control M. Control N is a new workbook. I'll press Control N from my keyboard. You see I have in the new workbook. Control N creates a new workbook, Control N. So you can just close it, right? But if you find it difficult to close, you do not have a mouse, right? What you can do is you can press Control W from my keyboard. Control W also closes it. You see Control W, Control W. If I again press Control W, the last work, because I've worked on it, it will ask me, do you want to save or not? I'll say I not want to save. I have to still continue the shortcuts. So that is Control N for new workbook, W for close the workbook. After N, I have, what do I have is O. Control O is for open workbook. I'll press Control O. You know, my cursor will come at this place, Control O for open. I can give the location and I can select the file given at this place, O. Control P is for print. Once I press Control P, it will come to that place, Control P, and it will show the print preview. Also, what do I want to customize? We have seen detail in the video, Control P for print. Next, I have Control Q, that is Control Q, there's nothing, no shortcut available. Next, I have Control R. Now, what exactly Control R stands for? If you remember, we have seen Control D, it goes for downfill like this. But what if I want on the right hand side? I'll press Control R. So, Control R will take on the right hand side, Control D will take me on the down side, that is a fill down, fill right. These are the shortcut names. After R, I have Control S. S stands for save. Control S and the workbook gets saved. Now it is difficult to understand whether it is saved or not. So what I'll do is I'll create a new workbook, Control N, and now I'll try to save this because it's a blank workbook. It will ask what is the name, what is the location. Control S. So you see I am on the save as place and it will ask me the location and the name of the file. So Control S is for save. I'll close this. Next I have, I'll just delete S, yeah. Next I have, after S I have Control T. What exactly T stands for? T stands for again table. If you remember, L stands for table, control L. Similarly, T also stands for table. They both share the same shortcut, because the previous version and the newer version, they have brought it together. So if I press control T, I'll get the same dialog box, create table, click on OK. So again the table has formed. If you see the table tools, I'll remove the table, click on convert to range, click on yes. So control T for table, and T, after that I have U. So I'll select control A like this, and if I press control U, that becomes as underline. So you see all the text which I have selected is been underlined, right? Control U, and after that I have V. Control V stands for paste, but for pasting something you need to have data to be copied. So what I'll do is I'll just select this data and I'll press copy, control C from my keyboard, and I'll keep my cursor at that place where I want to paste, control V. So this data will be pasted here. Control V is the shortcut key, and if you want to go more detail into it, you can just click on this. You'll get all the options: paste, formatting, transpose, skip blanks, and different options available. So control V is for paste. After U, V, W, I have W. W stands for closing the workbook. Control W, you see it's closing the workbook, but before closing it is asking me, do you want to save the workbook or not? So etiquettes, so I'll just click on cancel W. Next I have cancel, that is the control X is for cut. So if I select this, and if I want to cut it from this place, I'll just press control X from my keyboard, control X. So it will cut. You see it has been cut. Again it will come in the clipboard. It will come in the clipboard, and then you can paste it somewhere like this. If you paste control V, so from here it will cut and it will paste in some place. So that is control X, and after that I have two shortcuts very useful, that is Y and Z. Y stands for redo and Z stands for undo. I start with the undo. Control Z, whatever I've done right now, it will go back, reverse the command whatever it's done. So if I press control Z, it will undo the action which I've done previously, and if you want to redo that action, read again, I'll press control Y from my keyboard like this. So these are the shortcuts for redo and undo whatever action you have done. So these are the shortcuts. The long cuts are given at this undo and redo all the places. So these are all the shortcuts from control A to control Z. I hope you have understood all the 23 shortcuts, and definitely it will save your time and will be helpful for your working futurely, right? That's all for this video. Thank you.